Hey, it's me, Daisy. Welcome. Come on. Let's go.
Hey
I'm gonna
there,
use
it's Daisy
all the
here,
examples
random mom from
of
Ontario.
myself because
Welcome
that's
back.
really all I have.
Let
Or I
go
can
of
make
your
some up, but
addictions
I
and
have no
don't look
shame.
back.
Anyways, so let's start with example 1. I used to suck my finger, and I sucked my finger until I was 18 years old. And if you don't know me, I had a child at 18, which means I was sucking my finger while I had a baby sitting next to me or sleeping next to me. And in my head, I got to a point and I was like, listen, I don't want my son to suck his finger. I don't want him to see his mom sucking his finger. But also, if I want a husband, I don't want to turn my husband off because I am sucking my finger as a grown woman. My parents had tried everything, my family had tried everything to stop me from sucking my finger, even the fear of screwing up my teeth, and nothing worked. It got to a point where I said, listen, if I want something like a husband, then I can't be doing that stuff. Period. And it has to stop. Okay, second, I was introduced to pornography at a very young age. You know, when you're up late, sometimes things come on TV and so on and so forth. So that was how I was introduced to it. That being said, it continued. It became an addiction. I began to watch it when we got internet, of course. It's early days of internet, so they don't have all those safeguards up and things like that, parent accounts and blocking software and things like that. So I had access to it. That became an addiction, a huge addiction for me. I would hide and do it. I would also have an addiction to pleasing myself. And I know that some people don't have the same thoughts on this. However, there has been neuropsychiatrists who have done studies on brains of people who consume this type of content and do certain things to their bodies and what it actually does to their brain and how it rewires their brain in a negative way. It reinforces probably addiction patterns in your brain. It does not do anything good for you. And speaking from experience, it follows you for the rest of your life. I lied, but it takes being intentional about clearing your mind, speaking what's right, speaking the word. I use the word personally in order to overcome that addiction. I also cleared off all my social media and phone and things like that so that I wouldn't be tempted by my environment to continue with that addiction. And I overcame it. I also thought in my head, like, I don't want my kids seeing me go through this. And also, it will affect my marriage. I don't want that to affect my marriage. Um, you know, I told myself that. And also, I had just started my, really taking my own relationship with the Father seriously. And I knew that it wasn't a behavior that Yahushua, Jesus Christ, um, wanted us to engage in, you know? So I said to myself, this isn't right. I have to stop it. So I had to renew my mind with the word in scripture, had to take things out of my environment, had to not go into certain environments, had to really be intentional. When thoughts came in my mind, I had to rebuke them, I had to speak against them. And to be honest, those images don't come back into my mind anymore. And that is actually very helpful. But what it did was kind of skew my perception on love, skew my perception on relationships, skew my perception on yeah, those things. And so I have still sometimes have different thoughts. It may not be about pornography, but just different unsettling thoughts that I have to speak against, that I have to pray about, that I have to ask to be removed from my mind so that I don't have them. Because who wants that? You know, who wants that? So that is how I also overcame the addiction to pornography and I don't know how to say it, self-pleasing. Okay. uh, so here I am now, knowing that that is not a helpful thing to do in order to accomplish my goals, which is what I want to help people to realize the value that they have within themselves now, in the moment where they're struggling with maybe an addiction, where they're struggling with maybe a mental health issue, where they're struggling with their self-confidence, where they're struggling with making positive changes and transformations to their lives. I want to meet people in their dirt, where I am or where I was. And I want to help them to pull themselves out with the help of faith and with some practical, actionable steps that they can put in place to create the transformation and changes that they need in their lives. Sometimes we have to be okay with sacrificing for a little bit of time in order to have, a greater outcome. And I mean for a little bit of time. We have to be reasonable and we have to put a timeline on when we want things done, or it will never get done. There will always be an excuse. There will always be something to prioritize over getting to that place that you need to be so you can be healthy and your family can be healthy. And that's what we don't want. And that's what we're changing today. So if that is you, someone who is stuck in a place of despair, in a place of limitation, in a place of feeling like they're unable to accomplish the things that they should be able to accomplish. If there is fear, shame, low confidence, then I want you to click the link in my description and grab that Overcoming Imposter Syndrome book, or grab a place in writing my success story so that you can take back control of your life, control of your emotions, your thoughts, your environment, and get on the right path towards your success and accomplishment and growth and health. Then click that link right now. I would be so blessed to help you, to work with you, to pray with you, to read the word with you, and to help you take those actionable steps in order to show up in the world the way that you want to show up in the world as. And I want to help you to accomplish the goals of transformation and change, positive transformation and change in your life. And I want you to join the community so that we can support one another in the changes we are making and in the story we are writing, with the Father's help, of course. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I pray that it resonates with someone that it can uplift someone and that it will help someone to take action today. I will see you later. Love you all. Father's blessings. Bye.